Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So let's have a look at Solana meme tokens. As you can see here, the BTC just went down slight like 2.7%, and these memes just took a massive, as you can see here, massive price crash. So as of now, we have like Pudgy the penguins is down like 12%. Even the Bonk is like down 12%. If you look at WIF, that is also like down 12%, and the biggest loser of all is the Fartcoin. It is down like 21%, which is a massive one. So we'll have a look at some of the top meme tokens that I think could be a pretty good buy, and I will also do the analysis and let's see what is going on with them. So again, I'm not going to include this troll token because it recently went up and it is up like over 800%, so there's a possibility that it could tank even more. So that is why I'm excluding this one from this video. Anyways, let's get started. So the first one of course would be the Pengu. I have already done analysis. I will just explain what I did. So basically this is one of the strongest meme token out there, I would say, as of now, and it was following this trend line ever since June and July. Whenever it retraces around this exact trend line, it usually sees a massive price surge, as you can see. So the last time when it actually ended up retracing around this exact trend line was back in July, as you can see, and now again I think it is trying to get in this exact range. So I think we could see some, I think the Pengu will most likely trade in this exact range around 31 cent, sorry, 3.1 cent to 2.1 cent if the market remains stable. If the BTC goes like as low as 110 or even below that, things could get ugly. But I think as of now I would be looking to get some of the Pengu if I'm interested around 3.1 to 2.8 cent, and if the market remains pretty good, or if the BTC doesn't crash, I'm not expecting a more correction from the Pengu. But if the market does go down, I would be looking at like 2.4 or even 2, and if the things get even uglier, I would be looking at this range. So I think this is the best range to get the Pengu token, around 1.7 to 1.4. I think this is probably the best price to get some of the Pengu, but again I think overall it depends on BTC and Solana. Now moving on, the Bonk itself, or the Bonk token, and this is how it looks like. So as of now, let's Bonk, or even the Bonk swap is doing really well. So if the market remains stable, I would be looking at a retest of around like 20 or even around like 21 is a possibility if things don't go that bad. If the things go bad, I think like 18 is a possibility, or even 15 is a possibility. Anyways, moving on, we have a dogwifhat, and this token is not looking that good. So basically, even if you look here back in 2024 December, when the meme season was at its peak, it actually ended up getting like $5, but in this meme season it actually went as high as 1.4 or even 1.3, and it is struggling. But I think this trend line has been really strong, so I am expecting a retest of around like 86 cent, if that makes sense, if the market doesn't go that bad. But if the market goes bad, I would be expecting a retrace of around like 63 or 51 cent, because this trend line was pretty strong one, and if it breaks this trend line, we will most likely go as low as 63 to 51 cent. And if it bounces back from this trend line, I think we can go as high as like 1.5 or even 1.01 is a possibility, or even it can go as high as 1.13. Now moving on, the biggest loser of all would be the Fart token, and if you look here, this has not been going that well. So It has been in the downtrend ever since July, as you can see, and it keeps rejecting this trend line, so that is a bit concerning. So as of now, what I would be expecting, if things get even uglier than this, I would be expecting again, I think it may tank as low as 80 cent, like 80 to 63 cent, and after that it may end up recovering and it will most probably reject around this trend line. So if, let's say that if it goes as low as 73 or even 80 cent, and it gains some of it and it goes up, I would be expecting a retrace of as low as $1 or even like 97 cent, and I think it will most likely continue to go down till I'm expecting like a pretty good correction from this token, because there are a lot of coins that have basically replaced same, I would say, same narrative as this token. But again, I think if it breaks above this downtrend, it could be a pretty good coin, but again we'll have to wait and see what happens. But as of now, I'm expecting a retrace as low as 80 to 63. After that, we have Popcat, one of the cat themed meme token on the Solana. Again, this did not do that well as well, like WIF. So as of now, it just broke below this downtrend. If it doesn't hold this trend line, I think we can expect it to hit like 26 to 23 cent or even like 15 to 12 cent if it doesn't hold this. But it seems like as of now it is trying really hard to hold this trend line, but the market is not looking good, and if it breaks down below this trend line, I'm expecting like 26 to 23 cent correction. And if it starts to go up, I would be expecting let's see, if it starts to go up from now, I would be expecting a surge at least as high as like 43 cent or even slightly above than that. And if it breaks out from this trend line, I think this could be a pretty big setup as well, but it doesn't seem like that is the case, because overall market is going down. Unless we see a massive price surge or a massive hype around the Popcat, I don't think that it can do these gains, but again we never know what may happen. So moving on, another meme token, which is the PNUT or the PNUT the Squirrel. So if we look at this token, I think this is in a prime range to buy, because 21 to 18 cent has always been a pretty strong buy zone for this token. Even if you look here, it has basically been one of the strongest, I would say, entry for the coin as well. Even back from the June, it actually ended up going as high as 33 cent, and after that, if it breaks below like 18 cent, I would be looking at load some of the peanut around 14 to 12, and I think because that is also another pretty good entry for this coin. Now moving on to the Giga or the Gigachad, if we talk about this token, and this has not been a good season for this coin, because as of now it did not do that well, and it's in the pretty good buy zone, I would say, around 12 to 6. I know the range is pretty high, so again, but I think whenever it goes in this exact range, it does perform really well. So again, I think this is a pretty good range to get some of the Giga token. But again, I think the best strategy for this coin would be the dollar cost average, because the range is just too high. I would say around it starts with like 1.4 and 1.2 cent, and it ends at like 0.60 cent. So again, the range is pretty big one. After that, we have MOODENG. Last but not least, this token has been one of those that has performed really well. Even if you look here, it usually sees a massive price jumps, whether it is listing or whether it is MOODENG itself, or whether whatever the announcement the hypo teams makes, the token does really do well. Now again, like 15 cent to 12 cent is a pretty good range to get some of the MOODENG, and if the hype remains stable for the MOODENG, I'm expecting a pretty good, I would say, pretty good pretty good price jump from here as well. So if it goes again in this range, and if it breaks above this downtrend, which would be, I think it's a pretty strong one, and when the price reaches around this range, or if the token breaks above this blue line, I would be expecting a pretty good surge, like SI is 25 cent or even 32 cent. And if it doesn't break below like 12 cent, I think it will most likely be bullish. But if it goes like if it goes below 12 cent, we could be expecting a pretty good, I would say, we could be expecting a pretty good correction as well. So if it goes below 12 cent, I think it can go like as low as 0.76 or even 0.19 cent. That's a possibility. Anyways, this was it. I hope you liked the video. I will be back. Thanks for watching.